you, Director Rayburn. So I am pleased to see the progress that staff has made. I've been sort of pounding on this from behind the scenes for a very long time, actually since the point at which I came into BART, and that was based on information that I found when I was running for the seat and people that I talked to, and I spent a lot of time, 4 months out talking to the constituents in my district. And everyone who was a writer, and I think we have to be cognizant of the fact that, you know, not all of the general public who votes for us to sit in these seats are writers. In fact, it's a smaller percentage. So what I heard from them when I was running was a continuous cry to address fare evasion. And that was one of the things I promised to come to the BART board with. And I have worked on this issue for a very long time. We've seen continuous ridership decline since 2016. Now, lots of people have lots of different reasons that they can put forth for why that ridership declined. But what I hear most often very loudly is people just really don't feel safe on BART. It's too crowded. It does bother the paying rider who pays to go through that fare gate and then watches somebody not pay. There's a fairness issue there. But the fact of the matter is we have declining ridership before COVID, and now we have an even greater problem with, right now, we're still under 10% ridership. People are not going, I believe the bar is much higher now. Post-COVID, the bar is much higher for people returning to BART, and their demands for safe, clean, quality, reliable transportation is much higher now than it ever has been before. People want to be safe. That's their number one priority. They want to feel safe, but they also want to be safe. And those can sometimes be two different things. We must make fare gates a priority because it is a safety issue. Now, you know, we've heard lots of interesting comments already in this meeting about the police, and I won't get into that right now, but you know, the alternative to having good fare gates is to put police officers at the fare gates. And I think that this fare gate issue, strengthening the entrances to our system, is a much better alternative than us talking about putting armed police officers at the gates of our stations, which I actually have had some people ask for that. Measure RR funds were designated for access. This is an access issue. So absolutely Measure RR funds can be used for this. But I have seen Measure RR funds being used for lots of other things that are, you know, many would say are not as important as public safety, like bicycle valet stations. We are using Measure RR money for art programs. So yes, we have a budget problem, and in times of budget problems, we have to make and choose our priorities. I think absolutely, we've got money in our capital budget, and we still, you know, we got some information late last night, which on capital projects, which I haven't been able to get through before this meeting, but I certainly will before the next meeting. From my perspective, I think staff did a good job of going out and identifying the monies that could be available out there. Yes, we're going to face some different situations now than we would have if we had actually done this last year with respect to these agencies allocating money to this program. But I think that Director Saltzman's idea of some robust public outreach to all of these agencies with presentations is a good one. I am going to ask staff now, and I'll follow that up with an email, that I be notified of each of those presentations, because I will personally go to all of them in every single BART county that we have and make the case for why we need to replace these fare gates. The only thing I was, would add to this presentation as something that I would hope for is that we we get this done in 2 to 3 years instead of 3 to 4 or even 5 years. This is a critical public safety issue, our fare gates, and we need to go after it. And I hope that each of you will take that and think about that real hard about what is a priority. Art, bicycles, public safety. Thanks.